Baruch atah asherah anat malacha ha'olam asher kiddushani u'mitzvotav v'tzivani lehitatif l'tzitzit. Good morning. All right, let's get ready. Hi, Samantha. How are you doing? We're about to begin. Oh, I'm going to run out of fuel if I do that. We're about to begin morning rituals. Thank you. It's really nice to hear in the morning. I woke up this morning to a couple of tick bites. That had me a little freaked out. So I'm starting later than I normally would, because I had to spend a bunch of time on the internet researching Lyme disease. Oh, good morning, everyone. Look at all you people here. Welcome, welcome. Well, I'm just refilling my little flame. It's 2 p.m. where you live in the UK. It is 9:30 here in New York. Oh, I will feel better. I just had to decide whether or not I was going to take antibiotics. I don't think I will. But there were 2 bites, and that was a little scary. Okay. So, now we can begin. Come on, Flame. There we are. Little Flame. I'm in the mountains, upstate New York. So, I like to begin my morning mantra repetition with just some tones, because it warms up the voice and makes me aware of my vocal tract, which I'm going to be using for the next half an hour or so to communicate with you. We're going to do a ritual mantra repetitions, Tyler. Morning rituals, yes. Yes, you did hear roosters in the background. There we go. I have many roosters. So, to begin, just, I like to pay attention to how I'm seated. Oh, just like this. Yeah, I want to be in the center of the frame. Pay attention to my pelvis and my throat. Notice how my spine is emerging out from the pelvis. Straight and tall, shoulders back, head erect. Take a deep breath in. Hello, social brandy. Hello. So I like to see how long I can hold that note. I can usually hold it for close to a minute, and I try to just go for evenness and make sure that the sound is stable throughout my entire lung capacity, even as the pressure that I'm capable of producing changes slightly. And now we'll go a little bit higher. Good morning, Ben. And a little bit higher. Elise, My pronouns are these. I'm not going to talk much more about them until the end of the stream, but these are them, in case you were wondering. So now that my voice is a little bit warmed up, we can start doing morning mantras. So the first prayer that we're going to do comes from the book of Deuteronomy, and supposedly it is said from the mouth of Moses, as he's wandering through the desert talking to his people who are hungry and thirsty and confused. They don't know who they are. And he says this to them. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Sarah, this is Hebrew. This is from the Torah, from the book of Deuteronomy. And a translation of those 6 words are, listen, Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad is one. These 2 gods, Yahweh and El, that you are both worshipping, they are actually one God. Did you know that all is one? That the serpent consumes itself, that the infinite is actually a single unitary thing. And what should we do with that? It's hard to know, but there are some instructions on how to interpret or respond to this strange fact about the unity of an imaginary word called God. What on earth does that mean? I don't know. But we can respond like this. Ve'ahavta et anat Elohecha uv'chal levavcha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאוהות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. And you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words that I am repeating right now to you on the internet, you should teach them to your children. And you should recite them when you wake up, and when you go to bed, and when you are home, and when you are away. And you shall bind them as a symbol on your hand. This symbol, it's an older symbol than these words, but this is the same symbol. That's what it means. You shall bind them as a symbol on your hand and let them serve as a sign on your forehead. Tefillin. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Oh my gosh, squash blossoms.
They're for Rin, but I just thought you would like to know.
They're for Rin. Can I show the people on the internet the squash blossoms?
Sure.
Oh wow. Look at that. That's stunning. Rin's gonna eat them for breakfast.
Eat them too, but they like them very much.
Yeah.
They're from Cocosel Zucchini.
If
you want to grow squash blossoms, grow them from Italian zucchinis.
Can you check my rice cooker? I think I added the garlic scapes too early. It smells very strongly of garlic.
It smells very garlicky.
Yeah, they might be done.
Debatable. They look like they'd be like al dente.
Okay, you can take them out. I'm gonna add them again later because the rice still has a long time to go.
Okay. Hot. Hope it's okay. I just threw them on there.
Yeah, it's fine. That's why I added the thing.
Okay.
Yes, those are squash blossoms. The squash produced too many blossoms. We can't all make squash fruit out of them. So we eat them. Fried in a little bit of egg batter. It's very good. Anyhow, Moses continues after this, and he says, V'chaya, ki v'chaya Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nixbai lavotecha le'avram li'Yitzchak u'Yaakov לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית, ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר לא מילאת, ובורות עצובים אשר לא הספת, כהרים וזיתים אשר לא נטעת, והלכת ושבת. הישמר לך פן תשכח את יהוה אשר הוציאך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. When Yahweh Eloheinu brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to assign to you great and flourishing cities that you did not build, houses full of all good things that you did not fill, hewn cisterns that you did not hew, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant, and you eat your fill. Take heed that you do not forget Yahweh, who freed you from the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. And I just think it's so interesting that this reminder about colonialism, basically, this is a prayer about colonialism and reminding yourself that, yes, indeed, we live on stolen land, that this reminder comes immediately after the most quoted section of Deuteronomy, the Shema, right? Shema is the most repeated prayer in Judaism, and it's this like core thing. God is one. Remember, obsessively, God is one. Yahweh is all. And what does it mean that Yahweh is all? Well, it means that he stole some land for you and gave it to you because he promised it to your forefathers. But remember, do not forget that it is stolen. That it was stolen from someone else and could just as easily be stolen from you. And in fact, it will be, because God is a punishing God. Good morning, Fatima. How are you? Jesus loves you all. Have a nice day. Indeed. Indeed, indeed. So we live on stolen land. I live on stolen land. I drink water from a cistern that I did not hew, and I eat from vineyards that I did not plant. And this is true, and this is true for all of you, I imagine. None of you own the land, earned the land that you live upon, because it's not possible to earn, it's not possible to deserve. And all of the land in the world was stolen at some point. I'm doing well, Tony. I'm doing very well. It's really nice to have you here. So I try to say these words every day, because the words say, copy me. They literally say, teach them to your children. Recite them on the internet. They don't say that, but that's how I interpret them. Recite these words every day. So I do. And I remember that my religion is based on the theft of a homeland, and will always be. And so it goes. So it goes. There's a few other prayers to Yahweh and his pantheon that I like to recite. One goes like this. Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, shalu ashani isha. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who did not make me a woman. Baruch atah Asherah, Anat Malecha Ha'olam Asher Yitzaret Ha'adam B'Chachama U'Vara Ve'al. I repeat the name of Asherah Anat, who made me with many openings and cavities. So, Quantum. This stream is morning mantras. I do this every morning. I repeat the same words every morning because that's what feels good to me. And those particular words, or at least some variant of them, are most frequently said by ultra-Orthodox Jewish men. And the men pray to Yahweh and they say, thank you, Yahweh, King of the universe, who did not make me a woman, because there is some deep male bias in my tradition that I cannot ignore, just as I cannot ignore that it is a tradition that is based on the theft of a homeland. But I can reinterpret it, and I can reimagine, and I can say, yes, thank you, Yahweh, for not making me a woman. I did that. I made me a woman. And thank you, Asherah, Yahweh's abandoned wife, Asherah, who was his wife thousands of years ago, and then was abandoned with the Israeli monarchy as they came to power and consolidated their power into one city, one God, one king. They abandoned Asherah, but I can remember her. I can remember this little figurine, the thousands like it that were made all over the ancient Levant, and I can say thank you, Asherah, for making me with many openings and cavities, because that's quaint and vaguely sexual, and I like it. Then God bless, stay good, heart, not understand women issue. Well, you know, we don't all need to be feminists, only half of us. What are my pronouns? Once again, look at this chart. These are my pronouns according to TikTok. Here they are. No work today. No, I do have work today. I'm going to get started very soon as this stream is done. Now we can move on, and we can say, I came upon a wedding which old families had contrived, with Bethlehem the bridegroom and Babylon the bride. Oh, great Babylon was trembling, and she stood there naked with me. And Bethlehem inflamed us both like the shy one at some orgy. And when we fell together, all our flesh was like a veil that I had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh, some women wait for Jesus, and some we wait for Cain. And I'll hang upon my altar, and I'll hoist my axe again, and I'll take the one who finds me back to where it all began, back when Jesus was the honeymoon, and Cain was just the man. And we'll read from pleasant Bibles that are bound in blood and skin, that the wilderness is gathering all her children back again. Good morning, Jess. Shalom, Exat. Welcome. What is the circle on my hand? Well, this is a serpent which eats its tail. It's an Ouroboros. This is the symbol that I bind upon my hand that reminds me that all is one. It's a very ancient symbol. Very ancient symbol. Perhaps the oldest religious symbol that we know of. That's almost certainly not true, but there are Ouroboroses that are found in ancient Greece, or ancient Egypt rather, from 6,000 years ago, perhaps. It's a very old symbol. At the root of most mythologies in the world, you will find a self-consuming serpent. It's a symbol that is pervasive in our minds. It's maybe even instinctive. That might be too strong a claim, but perhaps this understanding of the paradox of life, that we are a mind which contains a body which contains a mind. This paradox. It's literally a circle. Yes, that's all it is. It's a circle. Very old symbol. Circle. We had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh. So, now we're going to switch languages. We're going to switch languages into Sanskrit. Thank you for sharing the live video. I appreciate that. Good morning, Allison. Such a good morning to you. We're going to switch into Sanskrit, and we're going to say some prayers from the Shivananda Yoga tradition. Am I having an amazing morning? My morning is a little bit average. I woke up with some ticks on my body, and they sort of freaked me out and slowed me down a little bit. I had to remove them and make sure that I felt okay. Sanskrit. Sanskrit is an Indo-European language, one of the oldest Indo-European languages, that was brought with the Vedic invaders from the steppes of Iran into the Indian subcontinent around 3,000 years ago, 3,500 years ago. And we can say some prayers from that tradition. Do I feel better? Well, the ticks didn't make me feel bad. They represent a risk. And I had to decide what I'm going to do with those risks, if I'm going to take doxycycline or not. I don't think I will. I think it's fine. But having a tick in your body all night is not comfortable. You can see the tick bite here. How's it doing? I circled it. I circled the tick bite so that I could monitor it, and it's shrunk. The inflammation has shrunk, so I think I'm okay. Thank you, Your Girl Vibes. I'm glad you like my hair. Where did I get these facts? Well, these next prayers I learned from the Shivananda Ashram in the mountains of New York. And it goes like this. Gajananam Buddhaganati Sevitam Kapita Jambupala Sarabakshitam Umasritam Sakapinasakarnam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Sadananam Kunkumaraktavarnam Mahamatim Divyamayuravahanam Ridasyasinam Surasananatam Guham Sadanam Saranam Prapadye Hiaku Hendu Saraharadavala Yasupravasvarita Yavina Varinda Mandidakara Yasveta Padmasana Ya Brahmachuta Sankara Pratrapi Devasa sata pujita samampatu sarasvati bhagavati nihe sajadyapa om namah shivaya gurave sachidananda murtaye nisparanchaya santaya shishivanandaya te namaha shri vishnu devanandaya te namaha om sarva mangla manglaye shive savarta sadike saranye chayambake gauri narayani namostute narayani namostute om So we are saying mantras. That last mantra was in Sanskrit. Before that, it was in Hebrew, indeed. The last verse of this mantra translates as, I salute the three-eyed Divine Mother, Narayani, who brings auspiciousness and who fulfills the desires of the devotee, both spiritual and material. This is not Narayani, this is Ashura. And this is also not Narayani, this is Lakshmi. But, you know, all the goddesses are actually the same. They're actually the same, and that is the meaning of these prayers. We remind ourselves that whatever name we use, whatever syllables we use, whatever framework we use to describe this nameless thing, all the names are the same, and the thing which we are trying to describe is everything, all things, which are actually one thing. And we meditate on this paradox, the connection of all, the impossibility that all things could actually just be a single one thing. It's impossible. It could never happen. And, it's good. It's all good. So now we'll do one more prayer in Sanskrit. This is the I need to learn how to pronounce this word better. Mahamrityunjaya mantra. The Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Chayambakam. The three-eyed god. Hey, joyful sadness. Hey, how are you? I like your little anarchy symbol. Chayambakam yajamahe sugandim pushte vardhanam Varvarukami bhavandanan mrityar mukshiyam amritatam Chayambakam yajamahe sugandim pushte vardhanam Varvarukami bhavandanan mrityar mukshiyam amritatam Sarvesham svastir bhavatu sarvesham shantir bhavatu sarvesham purnam bhavatu sarvesham mangalam bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashantu makashu tukabhagbhave asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityar ma mritam gamaya om purnamadam purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate om shanti Shanti, Shanti, Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you for answering that, Allison. I am doing well. We are doing morning mantras. Hello from New York. Greetings from Minneapolis. Thank you, Britt. It's not quite Shabbat. It's Wednesday. It's not Shabbat. But yes, we're doing morning mantras. We're repeating the same words. The same meaningful, meaningless words, these syllables, because the syllables themselves are comforting. Yeah, repeating prayers in various languages. This one is in Sanskrit, and we'll stay in Sanskrit for a little bit more before we move back to Hebrew. But actually, we're going to move to English. Hello, Aisha from Australia. Hello. Hello. Would someone kick Justin? I would appreciate that. So, there's a reason for doing all of this. There's a reason, and there's a prayer in English, a folk song by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros that I particularly like because I think it describes more thoroughly why I am doing what I am doing than any of the prayers in a language that I'm not fluent in, any of the Hebrew or Sanskrit prayers. I do like capes. I've liked capes since I was a very little boy. Yeah. And the prayer, the song, sounds like this. I don't want to pray to my maker, no. I just want to be what I see. Not like who I am, but the pink in golden land and that wide, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun, hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. And it's not much good to talk, better to walk it. Ooh, not much good to take, better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins. And I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. So, pardon, God and Mom. What I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. I love Allah, Allah made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asher, made good. And Anat made bad. Elohim made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made. But I don't want to pray to my maker. I just want to be feeling free. Not like in a book, or the leaves of trees that shook from a word that means only not a thing. No, no. Pardon, God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. I love my God. God made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asher, made good. And Anat made bad. Elohim made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made me. Except that's all a lie. You know that, right? God isn't real. And yet I believe in them. I believe that God is an idea that has profoundly shaped the evolution of the humankind, the human species, and that we are shaped by it and we shape it, and that it is worth paying attention to, worth trying to understand a concept which is designed to encapsulate everything and yet actually captures nothing about reality. A word which means only not a thing. That's what God means. In the beginning there was a word, and the word was one, and the word made all, and all made the word. God isn't real, and yet it is. And that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Not like in a book, or the leaves of trees that shook from a word that means only not a thing. There's a demon that has taken over my mind and heart, opened my eyes and come back to reality. Oh yes, the demon. Her name is Ashura, yes? She's been treated as a demon forever. Not forever. But she is a demon. She's a serpent which will eat you. She will eat your daughters, eat your firstborn children. That is what she does. Religion is a farce. Yes, it's a story we tell ourselves to make us content with this illusory reality we find ourselves embedded in. And so it goes. Alright. So. Yes, I am trans, DT. I am indeed. So, now, we're going to... Do I have any mods in this room? I should make some of you a mod. Allison, are you a mod? Who wants... Allison, would you... I need to add some more mods. Admin settings, moderators... Allison is not a mod. Let me make Allison a mod. Allison. Ugh, I have to friend you first. Allison, will you say something? Allison, hi. Follow. Alright, I'm following you. I've requested to follow. Okay, so I can't make you a mod just yet. Alright. You were doing your makeup. Well, that's good. Oh, everybody wants to be a mod now. Alright. And Brittany, yes. Brittany, you could be a mod. Let me add you. Brittany. Alright, I'm following you, Brittany. I will make you a mod now. Admin settings, moderators. Brittany. Ba, ba, ba. Oh gosh. Come on, moderators. Huh. Leaf Queen? But no, this is a different Brittany. Why can I not make you a mod? I'm not sure. Manage? So frustrating. So frustrating. Alright. Moderators. Well, I guess we're gonna add mods later. Da da da. ALL. So Allison, you will have to allow me to follow you. Oh, I've lost half my audience while I'm seeking mods because I'm trying to manage trolls. And so it goes. Alright, one more time. What about you? Da da. So it goes. Beep beep boop shall work, so it be it. So be it. Alright, well, now you know that if you have 80 people in your room and you start talking about needing moderation, they'll drop down to 40. Trolls leave and you ignore them. It's true. Well, let's just continue. Oh, you did it. Alright, I do want to make you a mod, Allison. After all that work, I do want to do it. I think it's glitching or something. It's literally not letting me add Brittany or Allison. I'll have to do it the next time. So it goes. Alright, let's get back into prayers. That was an unfortunate distraction. I don't like leaning over my phone like this, or moving around a flame. But the chat has stabilized. So we're going to do the Arati from the Shivananda chapbook. Here it is. Kirtan, Shivananda. This is your first time seeing your live. My posts are wonderful. I'm glad you like that, Pooch Man. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you. So we're gonna do this Arati prayer. Arati means flame. And the first verse is to Ganesha. Here's a little replica of Ganesha. Ganesha is an elephant god, one of the many gods that dies and is reborn. Ganesha is Shiva's son, and Shiva cuts off his head and then realizes his mistake and replaces it with an elephant's head. Good morning, Ophelia. Hello, how are you doing today? Ophelia is really a lovely name. It's one that is difficult to forget. Good morning, Ophelia. Yes. The remover of obstacles. Indeed, Coven Commune. Indeed. Ganesha is an obstacle for Shiva at the door. He cuts off his head, removes the obstacle, and then realizes his grave mistake. Similar to how Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac on the altar, only at the last minute to replace him with a ram. The sacrifice of the son is a very, very old motif that we can remind ourselves of and ponder what it means. How long have I been practicing studying? That's hard to say. My whole life, I suppose, would be the best answer. Maybe 2 years, maybe 6 years. I've been doing this mantra repetition for 6 years. Although it's only been this size for a few months. Anyhow, the Arati goes like this. Jaya Jayarati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jayarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jayarati Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankata Harana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jayarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jayarati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimutriya Vatara Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sankarachaya Sankarachaya Advaita Gurave Jaya Jayarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jayarati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye Jaya Jayarati Ayappa Swamine Ayappa Swamine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jayarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jayarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Guru Bho Namaha Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Natatra Suyobati Natandrakaratam Nema Vidyobati Kutoya Magni Tomeva Bantamanabanti Sarvam Tasya Basya Samidam Vivanti Om Yonge Kayamune Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siddhika Verihiya Namaskritam Namo Namaha Twameva Mata Chapita Twameva Twameva Bandusha Saka Twameva Twameva Vidya Travinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmanava Prakriti Sabhavad Karomi Adyad Mangalam Parasmahi Narayana Iti Sarmar Payami Sarvadharmam Pravichaya Mamikam Savarnam Vraja Aham Sva Sarva Papayo Mokshayami Masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these I dedicate to you, to all of you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I think it is a very interesting question and a very legitimate question. Is this cultural appropriation? Is it? I'm speaking in Sanskrit, in a language that I do not know fluently. I am saying words from a lineage which is not mine. Does that mean that I'm appropriating it? Well, I don't know. Like, I went to a religious center, an ashram, and I studied there for an extensive period of time, over a series of years. And I learned these words, and I learned the context that the words are embedded within. And I prayed with people who, absolutely, this is their culture. They are fully converted and enmeshed in the Shivananda tradition. And I am not, right? I am a secular American. I'm ethnically Jewish. So what does it mean? Shivananda was a guru, and he sent his acolytes over to America to teach Americans this tradition, and I learned it, right? So that was the intention of the teacher. Am I presenting the information to you the way they would present it? No. Like, they're an Orthodox tradition, and I'm mixing it. I'm mixing it with Canaanitic polytheisms and modern Judaic liturgy and all these things, right? Like, it is my own. It is my own tradition. It is my own culture. So what is the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural mixing? I don't think there is a firm line. It's about cultural competence. I am culturally competent. Yes, I'm not saying these words mindlessly. I am profiting off of them. Every time one of you follows me, right, I am gaining some little bit of security or fame or wealth or what is it. And Shivananda is not, I suppose, but I'm citing my sources, right? You could go to any number of Shivananda ashrams all over the world and hear this same liturgy. So I do not believe that this is cultural appropriation. But it is a legitimate question to ask. It's absolutely a legitimate question to ask. Is it a tree or a brain on the wall? Maybe it's a tree, but actually, it's a mushroom. It's a mycelial network. It's a network of interacting, ramifying branches. Yes, the tree behind me. There it is. I drew that tree myself, right? And so we can say, like, okay, if this here is Judaism, and this here is Hinduism, if we follow them down far enough, they will reach a root which is the same, right? All religions come from the same root. All mythological traditions draw from the same symbolism. Often it is this symbolism, and that is why I can coherently speak to you in Hebrew and in Sanskrit and in English, is because each of these traditions has the same root. Yes, I make many trees. Here's another example. This is a tree, right? And we have the hand of Fatima on it, right? This is an Ashura symbol. This whole thing is an Ashura symbol. Ashura, one way of representing her is in the tree, the hydra, where you cut it. One branch comes, two. When you cut one branch, two emerge. And I have it wrapped around a skull. The term for the wrapping is called anastomosis, when branches fuse. So all of these tree branches, they ramify up here into their own unique tradition, their own unique branch, their own unique species or phenotype up here. But at the base, they're all one. They're all fused. They're all connected. And this is the shape of our evolutionary history. It's the shape of our religious history. It's the shape of life, is this tree shape. And remember that life comes out of death, which is why it is wrapped around a skull. So I make these. I make art like this. If you want one, let me know. I can send one to you. They're not cheap, but I'd be happy to send one to you. Alright. Come now. There we are. Christ consciousness is one of many paths to the truth. Yes, indeed. You have to go, but you hope there are other mods in here to help out. Thank you, Gabrielle. I do have other mods. You're lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just added you as a mod because I know I can trust you, but I don't expect you to hang out for very long. But thank you so much for being here. And we should actually have a conversation at some point. Jules and I are going to start making more mycology content, like, next week. So what religion am I personally? I am Jewish. I grew up in a Jewish tradition, but I pay attention to trees. I pay attention to the roots. So my tradition extends far beyond Judaism. It comes before it. It will extend after it. And that is the nature of it. But we can say one more prayer, one more highly traditional prayer, before I'm going to have breakfast. Good morning, Great Blue Ape. So nice to see you. So nice to see you. So, we're gonna say Kaddish. Kaddish, what does Kaddish mean? There was a city in ancient Canaan named Kadesh that was destroyed by the Sea Peoples. And, there's a goddess in ancient Egypt called Katesh, Egyptianized, and she was a fertility goddess. And when the prophet Isaiah was prophesying the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonian army, he imagined himself at the seat of the throne of Yahweh, and Yahweh was being flanked by angels, glowing white, and they were chanting, Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy. And my name is Kadesh. It's my actual name. It's the name of my partner. It's her last name, the name of her parents. Kadesh, it's a Jewish name. What does it mean? It means holy. And holy comes twinged with a feeling of death, right? Life and death are intertwined. And So we will say, oh gosh, let's put this here. We will say Kaddish for all of those people who died yesterday of coronavirus, and for all of those sources of death and injustice that have plagued the living since our lineage began 3.8 billion years ago, and that will continue to cause us to suffer until our lineage is done, however long into the future that may be. And for the last 2,500 years or so, my ancestors have been saying the following words, or something similar to them, although they've changed over time, and the way I pronounce them is certainly not the same way that Isaiah pronounced them 2,500 years ago. But they sound a little bit like Yitgadal Vidgadash Shemei Rabbah B'yama Divrachute V'yamlich Malchute B'chayachon Uvyomechon Uvchayed Kol Beit Yisrael Bagala Vizvan Kari Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah Miv'arach Li'olam Almei Almaya Yitbarach V'ishtabach V'itba'ar V'irman V'itnaseh V'itadar V'itale V'italal Shemei Dekudesha Berechu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Diamiran B'yama Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'yochol Yisrael Vimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav Huya Aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yochol Yisrael Vimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav Huya Aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yalechol Yisrael Vimru. Vimru. Amen. Did I say that humans have been around for 3.8 billion years? No, but our lineage has. The first life to emerged on this planet 3.8 billion years ago, and eventually it evolved into humans, and for that entire evolutionary process, it was being chased by death. Our lineage has been chased by death since its origin. Death is what makes us alive. And so yes, for the last 3.8 billion years we have been tortured by the forces of death and suffering, and we will continue to suffer until we are done. And that is the nature of all. Shalom and amen. Did I find a picture of the Mappinskat Kabul? No, I didn't, but I will look it up right now, because that's very interesting. And then we'll have some breakfast. Mappinskat Kabul. Alright, let's end